Well, Psalms 100. We've gone through two-thirds of the book of Psalms, basically. We're on the final third of the book of Psalms right now. This is an accomplishment. Congratulate yourselves for being around and watching these videos, going through the book of Psalms. I really hope you've enjoyed these videos. I do enjoy reading your comments in the comments section. So please put your thoughts and comments down there of what you think as we've gone through the book of Psalms and the Old Testament really as well. We love hearing from you and talking with you there. So Psalms 100. It's a short one. This is another psalm of praise. Not so much a millennial one like the last several have been, but a psalm of praise. Verse 1, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, not we ourselves, and we are his people and the sheep of his pasture. So he made us. We didn't make us, basically counteracting more worldly philosophies and ideas. We are his people. We are the sheep in his pasture. The earth is his. We are just passengers on his land, basically. Verse 4, enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. So, I think that stands out for me in these last two verses is realize you should never go kicking and screaming to God. You should never feel compelled to go to God by fear, by judgment. If you force your children to worship God, that's not going to work. You need to help your children come to love God, approach God with thanksgiving and gladness. The more they do that, the more they want to do what God wants done. So our job isn't to force people to Christ. That's inappropriate. We enter his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. That is an important point, okay? If we are not approaching God with thanksgiving and praise, we might not be approaching God the appropriate way. We need to be thinking about that. So we can't make people come to Christ. What we do is get ourselves to Christ and show the love that we have, that he has given us. And then they will want to, as they feel the Spirit in their life, they're going to say, oh, I want that too. I want that as well. And they'll move in that direction. But we need to make sure we are going willfully to God. We should never be forced to. God himself, if you think about the whole plan of salvation, the whole point of outer darkness is God allows people to choose to not have the atonement work in their life. If you don't want it to work in your life, he's not going to make you. You can reject it and walk away from all of it and go to outer darkness with Satan and his people. That it is an option. And the only reason it's an option is because some will take it. If it's never an option, then what's the point of talking about it? In effect, for most of us, it's not an option in the fact that you have to get to a certain level of understanding or certain, high faithfulness or something like that before you can qualify for that choice. So for most of us, in effect, it's not really an option, which is why we don't need to worry about talking about it. But for some, it might be. And the beauty is it's because of agency. God will not take our agency. So we should never force God on anyone. Anytime we force God on anyone, we are using Satan's plan, not God's plan. And so if it's not God's plan, it's kind of gone the wrong direction. It's Satan's plan. So just do your best to have the Spirit with you and work on yourself in your relationship with Christ. And the more you do that, the more you keep the Spirit with you every day, the more you will influence others to want to follow God. It's that simple. That's the essence of all missionary work right there, basically. That's all it comes down to. So think about those things, put that in practice in your life, and then let's jump over to our next psalm as we continue to this final third of the book of Psalms.